Those of you who are wanting to be directors and actors and writers and all those other wonderful artistic things, you know it's going to be a very rich and, as John Paul II says, challenging life. And so this is a little bit of what this play is about. So without further ado, I would like to bring to the stage the wonderful performing team of the Red Peppers.
What's to be done with a drunken sailor, so the saying goes. We're not tight, but we're not too bright, great Scott, I don't suppose.
We lost our way,
And we lost our pay, and to make the thing complete, we've been and gone and lost human feet. Has anybody seen our ship, the HMS Mercurio? We've been on shore for a month or more, and when we see captain, we should get what for. Heave ho, me hearties, sing glory, hallelujah. A lady bold as she could be, pinched our whistles at the Golden Key. Now we're to the devil in the deep blue sea. Has anybody seen our ship? La 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 la. Oh, would you tell me something, please?
I would love to tell you something.
Who walks like this?
I don't know who walks like that.
I do.
What did you leave school?
Appendicitis.
Appendicitis?
Yeah, appendicitis.
What do you mean appendicitis?
I couldn't spell it. Hey, who was that lady I saw you walking down the street with the other day?
That wasn't a lady, that was my wife.
Oh, you leave a fresh, leave a fragrant.
I heard you had adenoids.
Adenoids?
Yeah, adenoids.
Don't speak of it.
Well, why not?
It annoys me. What's to be done with the girls on shore that lead our cause astray? What's to be done with the drinks galore that make them pass away? We got wet ears.
My first 5 beers.
After that, we lost control. And now we fight for us with a blinking pole. Has anybody seen our ship? The HMS Majestic. She sailed away across the bay, and we anchored as Melbourne to New Year's Day. Heave ho, me hearties, they're getting rather restive. We pulled our money, spent a lot. The world forgotten by the world forgot. Now we ain't got a penny for the you know what. Has anybody seen us? Anybody seen us?
Anybody seen us? Anybody seen us? Anybody?
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 Anybody seen
our ship?
Now then, what?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you don't, do you?
No, I don't, so shut up.
Suppose you don't know you mucked up the whole exit.
It wasn't my fault.
Oh, whose fault was it then? Mussolini's?
Funny, hey?
Suppose you don't know you dropped your prop either. And having dropped it, you left me all by myself to prance off. All by myself off the stage. What do you think you are, Rebler?
Exit was too quick.
It's the same as it's always been.
It's too quick, I tell you. It's been too quick the whole week. The whole number's too quick.
Bert Bentley takes the number at the same tempo as he's always done.
You and your Bert Bentley. Just because he stands you Welsh rabbit at the Queen's, you think he's God Almighty.
Bert Bentley's the best conductor in the north of England, and don't you make any mistake about it.
Best conductor my foot. I suppose he thinks it's funny to see us prancing up and down on stage with a couple of greyhounds.
Ha! If you're a greyhound, I'm Fred Astaire.
Oh, you're Fred Astaire, all right. With a bit of Pavlova thrown in. You're wonderful, you are. There's nothing you can't do except behave like a gentleman.
Oh, you want me to behave like a gentleman, do you? That's funny, coming from you.
Shut up and make me tired.
I make you tired. I suppose it was me who mucked up the old exit. I suppose it was me who dropped the bloody telescope.
Now you look here, George Pepper.
Stop George Peppering me. Why can't you admit when you're wrong? Nobody else broke up the exit, you did.
Well, so what if I did? I didn't do it on purpose. It was an accident, wasn't it?
Doesn't matter how you did it or why you did it, you did it.
Okay, I did it!
Don't do it again! There. Hey, tell Fred to pop out and give me 20 players and a large Guinness.
Can't you wait and have it with your steak?
Mind yours and I'll mind mine.
You'll have to wait until after Mabel Grace is finished.
She's been finished for years as far as I'm concerned.
What's the matter with Mabel Grace?
Ask the public, dear. Just ask the public.
Same as usual, I suppose, in between the houses.
Yes, but just tell them not to forget the salt like they did last night.
Righto.
What do you mean going on saying that about Mabel Grace for in front of him?
It happens to be my opinion.
In the future, you best keep your opinions to yourself in front of strangers.
If you're so fond of Mabel Grace, I wonder why you don't just go and ask her for an autograph. I bet she'd drop dead if you did. I bet nobody's asked her for one since the Trelawney of the Wells.
Mabel Grace is an artist, and don't you forget it. She might be a little long in the tooth, but she's a bigger star than you'll ever be, so there.
You make me sick sucking up to your top liners.
Who sucks up to the top liners?
You do. Look at Irene Baker.
What's wrong with Irene Baker?
Well, last heard from her, she was falling down drunk at the Empire Hartlepool.
That's a dirty lie, you know it. Irene never touched a drop till after the show.
Irene? Well, it was Miss Baker this and Miss Baker that last time you saw her.
That's all you know.
Trying to make you think you're good off with it, eh?
Oh, shut up with the nagging.
Irene. I just think you think she's funny. Timing her laughs the right way, but you know what? That lot of laughs I get when you're the one writing the gags.
If you're dissatisfied with the material, you know what you can do with it.
I know what I'd like to do with it.
Look. You know, if the day ever dawns when you can time your laugh like Irene Baker does, I'll give you a nice red apple.
We already said that I can't get any laughs with you writing the gags. You know, I'm just saying that times have changed, and since your mom and dad's day, we have electric light now in the piano, and Irene Baker is going to be a cinema star, just like Garbo, but nobody wants to see the Red Peppers for $3 when they can see Garbo for 9 pence.
That's just where you're wrong, see? We're flesh and blood, we are. And people would rather see flesh and blood any day than some cheesy photograph. You put Garbo in the Davenport on a Saturday night, you see what happened?
Yeah, look what happened to us.
It wasn't Davenport, that was Southsea.
Well, whatever it was, the fleet was in.
Ah. You know, you should rewrite some of the cover cards, you what?
Ever going to St. Paul's and offering to write the Bible?
Oh, very funny indeed. You're wasted in this show business. You ought to be rewriting some of the cover cards.
Well, that I could write up better gags than you do. That wasn't a lady, that was my word. Do you mind if I smoke? Don't care if you burn. Hurry up, chestnuts. Those were has-beens when your grandmother fell off the high wire.
What's my grandmother got to do with it?
Well, she didn't fall soon enough, that's all.
You shut up and stop hurling insults on my family. Well, you and I, Major, I'd like to know. One of the 6 moonlight maids with fancy songs and dances and no bookings.
Well, we did get bookings, and we booked #1 towns, which is more than your mom and dad ever did.
Who was #1 towns anyway? You can't get a public like my mom and dad did by doing 2 parasol dances twice a year at the Hypnoderm
The
Manchester.
Moonlight Maids was just as good of an act as the Red Peppers any day, and a bloody sight more refined at that.
That's right, it was refined. It was so refined it simpered itself out of the bill.
A bit of refinement wouldn't do you any harm.
Ha!
Come in!
Well, how's tricks?
Oh, Mr. Grumble?
Anyone got a goat steak?
Oh, got a play, is that good?
It's your last?
Hey, no, I said Fred out to get some more.
Okay, thanks.
Here, pour up a steak.
Oh, thank you.
How's the stitch?
Oh, yes, it's going well. Your cow's cutting yourself to shreds.
Pretty strong situation she got in that stitch.
Yes.
Watched her from the first side house on Wednesday.
She nearly got the bird, second house.
Too refined, I expect, for this date.
Well, they're liable to get a bit restless, you know. When she stabs herself, she takes such a hell of a time about it. The legit's all over. We had Robert Havisham over a few months ago. Robert Havisham and Company. He was held to skills. Damn heavy he was for a maker. And you should have seen the company. A bunch of tats got up as a bunch of old Elizabethan pages and did a death scene right in the middle of them. He died all right.
Did you buy it?
Ooh. 3 8 and a bottle of cola.
Oh, God, man, what a shame.
Well, what did you want to do it for anyway? That sort of stuff's all alive. It's all no good. And they all think that they can do a few seasons of the West End in their set.
Well, lots of hooligans burning the old man.
Wow, this is as good a day as you can get, you know.
I played better.
I'll dry up a little. So I can offer you a drink, old man. Try to hasn't brought it yet.
That's all right. I'll have one with you between the houses. By the way, you don't think that exit of yours is lagging a bit?
Lagging?
Lil thinks it's a bit too quick.
Whatever you say. It's all the same to me.
Well, maybe you can pep it up a bit.
Maybe it'd be better if we did the whole act on skates.
That's right, you know, Lil.
I don't know any such thing.
All right. There's no need to get nasty.
You darn right there's no need to get nasty. You know, you should be ashamed of yourself telling a neighbor like that.
Please, you and your orchestra. More like a hurdy-gurdy and flat at that.
What's wrong with my orchestra?
Oh, nothing aside from the instruments and the men who play them.
My orchestra's played for the best acts in the business.
Yes, but only after they were too old to care.
I didn't come here to be insulted by some cheap little comedy act.
What sour, sir?
You heard. You're lucky to get this date at all.
Lucky? My gosh, it's a filling. That's all, a filling.
I suppose Nervo and Knox used it as a fill-in, and Lily Morris and Flanagan and Allen.
Well, they probably had friends living there.
Before you start saucing me, just take a good look at your place on the bill. That's all. Just look at it.
Now, in the second half, anyway.
Only because the acrobats couldn't make their change.
After the intervals in our contract.
Well, make the best of it while you've got it.
You get out of here, cheeky little Briar. You're lucky you have another show to play.
Not so damn lucky. I have to look at it.
Well, it'll be the first time that we get the tempos right for a change.
You set your tempos Monday morning, and they haven't changed since.
That's your story, but you forget you were sober Monday morning.
Are you insinuating that I drink during the performance?
Insinuating? No, I'm not insinuating anything. I'm simply stating a fact. I can smell it a mile off.
What a lady! And an artist, too!
Hey, don't you talk in that tone to my wife.
Send for the manager, George. Send for Mr. Edwards.
I'm the one who's going to be speaking with Mr. Edwards.
Get out of here before I crack you one.
Come in!
You want on Mr. Bentley? The sketch is almost over. I'll be seeing you later.
Put it on.
Lousy son of a loungy lizard.
The players in me too.
All right.
Come back later for the tray.
Right, Ellen.
Mr. Edwards. I'm gonna have something to say to that Mr. Edwards.
Lucky to play this date, are we? We'll see about that.
You were lucky. You were right, old girl.
What about him?
Yeah, dirty little rat.
Well, everybody makes mistakes. Oh, then again, let's be a dear.
Oh, Alpha Mo.
The exit was too quick, you know.
All right. They forgot the salt again.
No. Oh, here is a bit of paper.
Thank God for that.
What's on?
The five barley.
Oh, that's near the end of the first half. We better get a move on.
Fancy them putting an act like that in the first half. You'd think they'd know better, wouldn't you?
I wouldn't think they know better about anything in this hole.
It's a poorly run house, and that's all there is to it.
Who is it?
Mr. Edwards.
Just a minute.
Go easy, Bentley's been on him.
I'll have something to say about that. Come in.
Good evening, Mr. Edwards.
Good evening.
How's the house?
Same as usual, full.
That's fine, isn't it?
I watched your act in our first house.
There you go, then. What did I tell you? I had a sort of feeling you were out there. I turned to my wife and I said, what you betting that Mr. Edwards is in the front row? You know, you kind of have a sort of feeling about you.
Went well, didn't it?
I've seen things go better.
Well, you know, it was because the tempos were all wrong, Mr. Edwards.
Sounds all right to me.
Well, we know our own numbers, you know.
It didn't look like it from the front.
Well, we've never had any trouble with it before. That exit has stopped every house we've been at.
A musical director can make a man act, you know. He can make a man act.
Mr. Bentley is one of the finest musical directors in the business.
Well, I mean, waste to hear, that's all I can say.
Lily.
Well, if he's so wonderful, then why isn't it Albert Hall playing Hiawatha?
I understand that you had words with Mr. Bentley.
We did, and we will again if he starts any of his funny business.
I understand that you accused him of drinking during the show.
Getting quite bright, aren't you?
Shut up, Will. Leave it to me.
Did you or did you not?
Who do you think you are coming down here talking to us like this?
Did you or did you not accuse Mr. Bentley of drinking during the show?
We did, because he does. So there.
That's serious, you know? That's slander.
I don't care if it's arson, it's true.
Now look here, Mr. Pepper. I think it's only fair to warn
And
you.
I think it's only fair to warn you that unless you get yourself a better staff in this theatre, better orchestra, and a better musical director, you're going to see yourself a cinema inside 6 months.
You won't gain anything by losing your temper.
And you won't get anything by coming down here and throwing your weight around. My theatre this and my theatre that. It's all theatre too, and you're on salary same as us, and a damn sight less, I'd wager. And don't you forget it.
I am not going to stand any more of this.
Well, why don't you go play with yourself and shut up?
I'll guarantee you one thing anyhow. You'll never play this date again as long as I'm in charge.
I told you what, the fire brigade?
Anybody would think it was the Palladium to hear you talk.
Yeah, you don't want scandal like this, getting around the profession.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the way this house is run.
You mind your own business.
More than one act has been mucked up here by that orchestra of yours. It's beginning to get any name.
Oh, it is it?
Yeah, they're all over the shop, no discipline.
And what do you expect with a drunk in charge of it?
Now look here. You stop talking like that, or it'll be the worst for you.
But Billy's tempers are all wrong, and he's got no authority over his men.
The state's a villain for us, you know.
You ask our agents.
I shall report this conversation.
Do report it to Lord Mayor if he's sober enough to remember the lyrics.
Shut up, Lil.
I will not stay here and argue.
You damn right you won't.
You've been a flop this last time we played here, and you've been a flop this time. That's enough for me.
A flop? What do you mean a flop? We are a bigger troll than anybody on the bill.
Come in!
Excuse me, but you're all making such a dreadful noise. I'm quite unable to rest.
I am very sorry, Miss Grace.
I find it hard enough to play a big emotional scene twice a night in any case.
That's an emotional scene, is it? I was wondering what that was.
I am not accustomed to being spoken to in that tone, Miss whatever your name is.
Pepper's the name. Pepper. P-E-P-P-E-R, same as what you put in your soup.
Very interesting.
I apologize, Miss Grace.
Thank you, Mr. Redford.
What you must think of us, Miss Grace. So common. We're mortified. Especially with you coming fresh from His Majesty.
Fairly fresh.
I'm not accustomed to dressing room brawls. I'll leave it to you to make sure there's no further noise.
Except for the raspberries at the end of your sketch. Even Mr. God Almighty Edward can't control those.
You're almost as vulgar offstage as you are on. I congratulate you.
Vulgar, are we? Why the question for you? If you're so bloody West End, then why the hell did you leave it?
There'll be an answer to that next Sunday's edition.
Thank you, George.
Now look here, you two. I've had about enough of this.
Oh, you've had about enough. Well, what about
You stupid little shit!
You're not going to play take
Let guys, 3 minutes! That's us, go, hold on.
Get out, all of you! Get out! Get out! Straighten it up, straighten it up. We are chaps who find it thrilling to do the killing. We're always willing to give the girls a treat. Just a drink in the Ritz, call it double or quits. Then we feel the world is at our feet. Top hats, white spats, look divine on us, there's a shine on us, get in line on us when we come your way. Yeah, 11 o'clock. Let's pop into the truck ere we start the business of the day. As we stroll down